that and we're in the home of Herb Zabel in Westmoreland, Kansas at 407 North Street. Mr. Zabel
Excuse me, don't say Mr., say Herb.
Herb is was born in December 23, 1916.
Yes.
So you're like 86 years old now.
Old.
And I am Dean Schoengert, who will be interviewing Herb today, and I am the coordinator for the Veterans Oral History Project in the county. Well, Herb, what were you doing before you went into the service?
Just odd jobs, painting and
Just high jobs, painting,
whatever you could find.
whatever I could find to paint.
So you were already out of high school, and
Oh yeah, just odd jobs. In those days, work was kind of scarce.
were you married by then?
No,
No,
Oh,
we were married in 1942, just before we went into service in May.
yeah, I came home on a furlough and got married.
okay.
So I had 20 days to get married in, and whatever.
So where did you go first?
First, I went to Wamego and got on the train, I think. Or was it? No, a bus.
You went to Jefferson Barracks. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go to Jefferson Barracks, Missouri. And I stayed there for, God, I don't know, however long they kept me. It wasn't very pleasant over there. They got a sickness in at that time. Everybody that was there had a sickness of some sort. I don't remember the sickness, but I got it too. Everybody got it.
Then you went on to California.
Yeah, then they put us on a train.
No, I don't know, I suppose.
No, they put us on a bus. And then it wasn't air conditioned. Boy, that was hot, son of a gun.
On the train, going
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, the train was not air conditioned. What they did, they put us on a end of a train. They put us in just a big, wasn't this big, 40 horses and, no, what was it, 40 men and 8 horses. That was the size of the, and then they hitched us on the back of a, it wasn't air conditioned, no. But they hitched us on the back of an air conditioned car on a train, and on that, it was hotter than hell in there. A lot of guys got sick, including me. Had to go throw up, you know. But other than that, was just fine. And then we went clear across the damn country, but we went south and ended up
California somewhere.
California.
I forget the where.
Boy, that was great to get out of this winter weather,
Mhm.
step into the sunshine there.
What you went to a camp, and what kind of training did you have there?
And my basic training was over at
St. Louis.
Leavenworth,
St. Louis.
Oh.
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Then I just had to march.
In California, though, you went to some kind of a school, but I don't know what
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
they asked us if we wanted to go to some schools, so I volunteered to go to this school. As a matter of fact, I volunteered for all the schooling I could get, you know. And so they sent me to various schools, but California was the most pleasant one.
Then when you got back, you went to Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And that's when I came out where you were, and then you were transferred to Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah, I went to several forts for one reason or another. It's hard for me to remember those things.
Of course. So in Fort Wayne, you had more training, or?
Yeah, Fort Wayne had more training.
You went
I had
to-
training at every place I went.
He went to Indianapolis first, and then after Fort Wayne, he went to Lake Charles, Louisiana.
That
where
was
you
the best
started
one.
flying, I guess.
That was the best one for me, but it was the hardest one for you.
No, it was all hard.
Oh, Lake Charles, is that when you started flying?
Yeah,
You volunteered to be a gunner, or?
yeah. Yeah, it was all volunteer.
And then
From there you went to Shreveport. That's Barksdale Field where you did most of your
Yeah,
training.
I went to Barksdale Field, Louisiana,
After Lake Charles.
after Lake
what
Charles.
what was the training like? Were you actually in airplanes, flying,
Oh,
and
yeah,
shooting
yeah.
at targets?
Yeah, shooting at they had a tow ship there, and they kept track of how many hits you make on that sock that they put out behind. I did pretty good on that, so I had advanced pretty good. I was a real good shot in those days.
And then from Shreveport you went overseas.
Cause it's Shreveport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you didn't want me to shoot at you in those days.
So what was going overseas like? How did you fly over?
No, he went on a Liberty ship. Liberty ship, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was one of those made it down here in the South, Mississippi or someplace, Liberty ship. Boy, that was quite a ride. I went through 2 hurricanes on that damn thing. That ship not only bobbled this way, but it bobbled this way. And I was an airman, and there were 6 of us. They put us on there. For some reason, they split me up and 6 other guys. There might have been 8. But none of us guys got sick. Everybody else got sick. Hell is leaning overboard Irpin. I can remember that.
And then you
About how many was on the ship?
And while they were, I think there was about 400 or 500 on that ship. It was Liberty ship. And I was a real good poker player. I mean,
well, he probably didn't want to put that in the paper.
That's
well,
all right. We want to know what.
And I didn't have any money when I got on there, but I called you for some money. She sent me $20, I think. But,
Probably all I had.
so that was all you had. You know? And by the time I got to the other side of the ocean, I had all their money. Oh hell yes, I had $400 or $500. Which in those days, that's a lot of money.
Then when you got there, you lived on the north coast of Africa, didn't you?
Yeah, I first lived on the north coast of Africa.
Then he was
It's
sent.
Casablanca. Casablanca.
Then you were sent to Corsica and Sardinia. I don't know which one was first.
I don't know either, come to think about it.
They're little islands there south of Italy, I guess.
Down there in the Gulf.
South of Italy, somewhere down in
Yeah, there's
Mediterranean?
yeah,
Sea?
Mediterranean, that's what I was trying to think of.
And were you flying in this bomber as a gunner?
Not at that time. No, that came a little later.
What were you doing there in Africa and Mediterranean?
Marching, I guess. You know, just being a soldier.
But you're in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Air
Well,
Force.
wait,
Air Force has to march too.
About all I had to do was play poker, you know. I had to do that. And I took all
you
their
put
money.
up tents and stuff. You were in tents, I think.
Huh?
You lived in tents there for a while, I think.
Yeah, in Africa, I lived in tents. That was cold. Don't ever let anybody tell you that North Africa is warm along the Adriatic or Mediterranean. That was colder than the hubs of hell. I can remember having to get up at somebody told me then in those days that if you get newspapers and lay it under your. So I went all up and down Casablanca hunting for old newspapers. I guess I put them all I could find under the quilts. We made out, but it was colder than hell. And that's kind of didn't make sense, you know, to be in North Africa and being cold. But don't let anybody tell you that it isn't cold.
I don't know if you want to know that he flew 59 missions over enemy territory.
Well, let's get to that.
Okay.
So from Mediterranean, North Africa, Mediterranean, then where did you go?
Corsica and Sardinia, those islands south of Italy. He was stationed there.
Yeah, there in the Adriatic, there was. They kind of worked me up into France there.
But Corsica and Sardinia were two islands there.
Where were you based when you were flying combat missions?
Sardinia or Corsica?
Sardinia and Corsica. I flew combat in both of them. And I guess I went to southern France. Yeah, I went to France, up Germany, up through southern France. And I can remember those as being rough missions. But rough, I mean, you know, a lot of anti-aircraft. They didn't like for us to be there.
So your plane was bombing, but you were protecting the plane
Yeah,
by shooting at enemy fighters, or
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was my job, was to be a tail gunner.
You wanted to damage the railroads mostly, wasn't it?
Yeah, we bombed mostly railroads. And the Germans didn't like that worth a damn, you know. So they'd shoot at us. And that's where most of my shooting was trying to raid those places.
were you shooting at ground targets or air targets?
Ground targets. Just trying to disrupt them, I guess. Whatever. They was trying to kill me, so I was trying to kill them.
You might want to tell him that having to kick that bomb loose that time.
Do what?
You had to kick that bomb loose that the bombardier couldn't do. You remember that?
I remember, but I didn't think I'd ever remember that.
Well, you told me about it not too long ago, and that was the first I knew.
The airplane had bombs, a bomb rack there.
Yep.
And they weren't armed in the plane. They were partially armed in there. There was a pin that stuck in there, kept the firing pin from coming down to explode. And it was really important to keep that firing pin tied up. If you get it loose, the damn thing would come in and blow up the whole damn airplane, which happened to several of them over there.
Mm.
Had to be very cautious about pulling that dang pin. And when you did it, well, you had to walk over a walkway about a foot wide, and then I had to squeeze in between the bomb racks, both sides of the airplane. And the guys that couldn't do that, when they landed, if one of those pins got loose, and they did, you'd have to pull a wire. You know, the wire came out automatically. The pins, you had to pull them out. And once you pull that pin, well, that thing was armed. And it could blow up the whole damn airplane. And when you landed, then it could bomb. It just blow you all to hell, which I witnessed two of those. The guy that was in there didn't pull them out. And it jarred the damn bomb loose. And the whole damn bomb just falling out of the airplane hit the ground. As soon as it hit the ground, it just blew up. Blew the whole damn airplane up. I saw that twice. The guys just didn't know how to do it. We were trained before we left, of course, to do that, how to do that. But it's kind of dangerous to get there. So I suppose that's why some of them didn't want to do it.
Well, because you were small, you had to get down and do that because the other guy, the bombardier, couldn't do it or couldn't get there. But if you had to pull that pin so the bomb would drop before you landed.
Yeah.
How many gunners did you have on the plane?
Gunners, Joe Knop was one. Tail gunner was me. And the co-pilot was a part of a gunner. He could crawl through a way to get in the nose. So he was a gunner also. That was Snyder.
Sanderson was his co-pilot. Snyder was
Sanderson was a co-pilot. Yeah, he didn't.
How many missions did you fly then?
Total 59. started out with 30 or 40, and then they moved up to 40, and then to 50,
So,
then to 55. That is a total. Then you could come home. And then I got to all those. And suddenly they moved it up to 60, and I got to 59. I was on 59 when they moved it to 60, and they let me come home anyhow. Boy, I was tickled to death.
how deep into Germany did you get with? Were you flying over Germany?
No.
Still France?
Yeah, I did fly over Germany, but not deep, just kind of a swing like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that twice. Of course, the Germans didn't want us there, but they started shooting at us, but we swung around to evade it, you know. Oh, that was great. I liked that evasive action. Bombs busting around, you know. And,
What was the scariest mission you had?
oh, hell, it was all scary.
All of them.
Every time we got shot at, well, that was scary. When you just, riding in an airplane, a tail, you don't got any control at all. You're just along for the ride. So I didn't have any say-so about where we was going, but the guy up front didn't like it either. So he went evasive action, you know. We liked that. When the bombs started hitting around us, we evaded that. We'd dive or any way to get away from those gunners down below. They were good. And then they got instead of being visual, well, they had what the hell was it? Radar, I think. And that was scary then because they could keep right on us then. The guns would automatically track us. That's the part I didn't like.
Were you flying at night or
No,
daytime?
all daytime, where you could see it.
Were you in big groups of planes or?
Six at a time. I saw one big group, huge group, go over, and they were Frenchmen, and they weren't trained or anything. They were just daredevils. I saw the whole damn group go in over a town over there. I can't remember the name of the town, but they were supposed to stay the hell away from there. And there they were. They was off, to several miles, but I could see them visually. And the damn fools just flew right straight over that place where we were trained to stay away from. Suddenly I could see all hell breaking loose with them. Bomb bursting up there. And that scattered them. They just went around like a bunch of goddamn bees. Just disappeared. And I suppose one or two of them did get hit, but...
And you got some shrapnel hit your hand one time? Is that the...
Yeah, just a piece of shrapnel hit those two fingers. I got a piece in here for a souvenir.
Purple Heart.
Is it in there?
We kind of, he has poor circulation in his hands when it's cold. You got one on your belt buckle.
What, Purple Heart? Oh, yeah. I think I got two of those, but I didn't get medals. I don't know. My outfit didn't give any DFCs to anybody except officers, which I thought was unfair. I still think it was. The officers got distinguished flying crosses, and we got air medals.
What's the secret to being a good tail gunner?
Be able to shoot straight.
Mind orders, I guess.
Shoot straight.
How
Well, I had to be a good shot, for one thing.
did you have tracers that helped you in your aiming, or?
No, I never. Yeah, we had tracers, all right, but different colored tracers. We had those, but that didn't help much. Hell, by the time the tracers got there, well, the real bullets was lagging along in front. See, the tracers were always behind.
So how do you hit a stationary target when you're flying in an airplane? How many feet would you be flying generally in altitude?
Say it again.
What was your altitude generally when you were
How high
bombing?
were you flying?
Very seldom did we get over a mile high. Most of it was about 15,000 feet. We had to breathe, We didn't have an oxygen mask. We had them, but we didn't use them. We were up high enough to breathe oxygen, from
you had very cold, I would
Oh
think.
yeah, it's colder than the hubs of hell. I had, do I still have them?
What?
I had the leather covered. Oh, they were warm. As a matter of fact, I got the North Africa on the ground and I got those out and put them on, wore those. It's so damn cold. Don't let anybody tell you North Africa is warm.
So when you reached your 60, you went home at 59, and how did you get home?
Liberty ship.
You came into California in an R&R thing.
Yeah, I was on a Liberty ship. You
No,
know,
you came home on the Queen Elizabeth or Mary or
oh,
something.
I came home on a big ship. I went over on a little old,
Liberty ship, and then you came home on the Queen. I don't know which one it was, Elizabeth or Mary.
yeah, it was the second biggest ship in the world at that
You
time.
came through England and crossed, didn't you?
Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth. Boy, that was great.
And you went to England and came across then to New York.
Uh-huh. So long ago, I can't remember all the details, you know, but
There were a lot of soldiers coming home on the Queen Elizabeth.
yeah, there's several hundred of us. Several hundred. And then that's when I made a lot of money. I was a good poker player. And that's all we did all the time. That airplane was bobbing, that ship was bobbing. I was down in the hole there playing poker. And she could tell you more. We bought a house and lot and a car and I don't know what all on that poker winnings.
When you landed in New York, then you had to wait there a long time, or
Yeah, we landed in New York
You went on to California for R&R, I think.
and they put us on a back of a whole the things was just air conditioning or just starting. So they put 40 of us in a railroad car, and I was supposed to go to California. Now then things was cold here, wasn't it? And so I got on that ship. They just loaded us on like a bunch of cattle, you know.
You went on a train, I think.
And put us on the back end of a air-conditioned train. But the car we was in was not air-conditioned. It was hotter than the hubs of hell when it was hot. And it was also cold. It wasn't.
Well, it wouldn't have been too hot in January when you got out. It was hot when you went over, but
Well, maybe I'm getting this little stirred.
yeah, I think you
it's
are.
okay.
But anyhow, in those days, air conditioning was not everybody had air conditioning.
When you came back after your missions, you landed in New York, went by train clear across to California.
Yeah. It wasn't air conditioning. It was just
So
Well,
then
it
what'd
was
you do
cold.
in California?
You had what they call R&R, I don't know, rest and
rest and recreation.
relaxation. Relaxation,
And then were you mustered out, or?
yeah.
Was I out there when I mustered out? I was not mustered out.
Yeah, you mustered out probably at Leavenworth.
In Leavenworth, I was mustered out.
You came back to Leavenworth?
Yeah. How did we get back there?
I don't know. I can't.
Had to
think
come
of
back
it.
by train, I guess. Everything then was. No, I don't remember any buses except we bused to the south. But most of the travel in this country was train, rail.
So, Mrs. Zabel, you tried to follow him wherever he went when he was in the United States?
Yeah.
Did you ever,
I had to work while I was there.
you're working in whatever you could do?
Yeah.
You working in any defense
Yeah, I
factory? or?
worked in the, where they made bombs that was in Shreveport, and in Lake Charles I worked as a secretary in an office where they kept records.
So this was defense related, and
Yeah.
Yeah, she was pretty good. She followed me, you know.
But in Shreveport we had to make bullets and bombs, and I didn't like that very well.
what didn't you like about it?
Oh, just being around the ammunition. I was afraid somebody'd make a mistake and we'd all blow up or something. I mean, I guess it was.
Yeah, where she worked, the little spark, you know, would let the whole damn thing go.
And we might also add that we had a son, and he was 7 months old before Herb saw him.
Yeah, they must have let me loose for a while. I came home on a furlough and conceived his son.
No, I was with you in Louisiana at the time.
Well, whatever.
Did you live in military housing, or do you have to get your own?
No, we got our own rooms, but people were real nice and let us stay for nothing or practically nothing in their homes, and they were real nice there in the South.
Yeah, lots of places down south, you know, people would open up their houses and homes and allow us GIs to, families to, you know, have a place to live.
You were corresponding by letter all this time?
No,
Yeah.
no, this is just when we got there where they opened them up. No correspondence.
What do you mean?
When you were in the United States and he's overseas,
Yeah, we wrote letters.
there wasn't any telephone calls, or
No,
not like today.
no.
Oh, no, there's no telephone. We didn't even have a radio. Yeah, all conversations had to be by telephone. I just can't remember lots of details.
Well,
Maybe you can separate the details, I don't know. That pretty nice case that they're in. My grandfather, great-grandfather, who I never met or never knew, his photo was in there, and I took it out, and it's up in the attic now. And I can put it back in, but I felt I needed some place to put my stuff.
You have various kinds of medals there that I don't know.
Well, one of them, I've got a dozen of those. There's air medals.
That's a machine 50 caliber bullet there, you think?
Yeah, if there's one in there, well, that's it. That's 50 caliber. And I shot.
a lot of those medals, I think, were called good conduct medals.
I shot several of those, hundreds, thousands of those 50 calibers.
What's the dollar bill for?
That's a keepsake.
What's it for?
Why are you keeping it?
Well, now that's not an ordinary one. That's a wartime one. That was
I see.
had the yellow seals there to differentiate the darn thing, differentiate the thing from the others.
Can you step up there and tell us what all those medals are?
I doubt it because I can't really see them.
Okay, well, that's all right.
Well, there's nothing great there. There's just
Okay.
one of them's got about a dozen of those. That's air medals.
Show us the airplane you have up here. Let's see. Can I
This-
get it?
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
It's called a B-26.
Uh-huh.
They're Marauders.
It's made by Martin.
I see. And
good
you were in the tail.
And I was in the tail. Only during takeoff was I any place else.
Uh-huh.
Turn the tail around her.
Now turn it around a little, can
Turn
you?
the tail around so you can see.
Yeah,
I don't really hold it still.
it's all right. So your gun was pointing straight out the back?
Huh?
Gun was pointing straight out the back?
Yeah, I was back here.
Uh-huh.
That's my position there. I'd get in these little doors here at the side.
Uh-huh.
Nowadays, they were up about this high, and I had to get hold of both hands and just hoist myself in. And then I'd just work myself back in the tail. That was after takeoff. And then when we landed, of course, all the gunners from up here in front, the back, and the top, and the turret, and the bottom turret, all of us would gather in the back end here in the compartment where the bomb compartment was. We gather back there in a little cluster when we take off and when we landed. I presume that was to keep us all together in case of an accident.
Herb, you got a picture over here of them. If that make any difference.